everybody, welcome back to the Julie and Jim Traber podcast. I am Jim Traber, along with my beautiful wife, Mrs. Julie Traber. How are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
I was good. Right before the show, I was a little bit upset because you were getting on to me, but now I feel good.
Oh, my goodness. You're such a baby.
Really? Am I a baby?
Such a baby.
Stop it. I'm fine. How you doing? Good? Everything good with you?
Had a good day.
Watching grandbabies and stuff?
I had little Clyde Cosmo today, so that was fun.
Yeah, he was dancing like a white guy today. Boy, he was getting all over it, wasn't he?
Yeah, the Can song came on.
Is that in Bluey?
It was on Bluey. And anytime the Can song comes on, boy, they have to jump up and dance. There's just something about it.
He was getting after it. He was excited.
They love that song.
Yeah, he is. He's an amazing child.
He's funny.
An amazing child. And I wanted to tell you that we had a nice weekend.
We did. Yeah,
It wasn't a real good weekend for me, but it was fun to be with you.
We went to Austin this weekend.
Texas. Yep. I went to play in a poker tournament. It did not go real well. Boy, I had some tough ones, but that's the way poker is. You can't get too fired up. I am doing better when I get knocked out, aren't I? Am I doing better?
You are. Yeah.
Uh-oh. That's not a real good one. Like, yes, you are.
It depends. I mean, sometimes you're like, I got knocked out with pocket kings. What can you do? And you don't beat yourself up. You're only bad when you feel like you did something that you kind of regret, and then you just keep playing it in your head, and so it affects your mood more. But you don't. Yeah, you tend to be more. You don't get angry like you used to.
Every single time I get knocked out of any poker tournament, if it's online or wherever it is, I always replay in my head what I might have been able to do.
Of course.
Most of the time I'll go, yeah, there really wasn't a whole bunch more you could do. You know,
Right.
But sometimes I'll go, well, I guess maybe. But you don't know what's coming.
Yeah, it's
Like in this tournament, I had pocket queens.
I remember I heard a comedian talking about how he loved to watch poker on TV, like watch World Series of Poker.
Right.
And so he decided he was going to play in a tournament. And he said, turns out it's a lot easier when you can see what cards they have.
Exactly. That's exactly
So
right. Yeah.
that's kind of, that's so true. Like,
When you
don't
watch
know.
on TV, you know, sometimes when I watch on TV, I'll block with my hand what the cards are just to see how the,
Yeah.
how the hand plays, try to predict what they have, you know.
Sure.
I don't know, Mo. I'm at a point right now. I've had a good year so far in poker.
Sure,
but
you're ahead.
I got 3 different people on the internet who are great. One of them's Faraz Jaka. The other one is that dude I told you from Australia that I follow who is really good. And they're all doing classes now leading up to the World Series of Poker. And I just don't know if I want to do it. I guess it will help, but I don't know. I don't want to spend the money on it. And can I take the time to do it? You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I don't know. What I do know is we rented you a pretty cool vehicle in
This
Austin.
is ridiculous, Jay. What she did to me. Listen, what did you rent in Austin?
So let me preface it by saying I didn't rent it because it was the coolest. It honestly, in the deal that I was looking at, it was the cheapest one. Okay.
I can see why.
But it was a Jeep Wrangler. Like it was a souped up Jeep Wrangler with the big tires, and you had to really had to jump up to get in there.
I mean, it was ridiculous. I mean, just ridiculous. I could barely get into the car. When I got out, I thought I was like jumping out of a building. It was so high up. And then to drive it, man, I could not wait to get back to my Prius.
It was funny because I took a picture of you in it because you looked pretty smoking
Well, I
hot
looked cool in it. There's no doubt I look cool.
You looked cool in it. Now, I used to have a Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah, I know. But it
In another lifetime.
It wasn't that size, though.
It was, yeah, he put the big tires on it.
Did he?
Yeah, had the big tires.
He's such a yard bird.
He was a
How'd
yard
you ever
bird.
marry him?
But I loved driving that thing around Orlando, you know. I'd have the top off, and it was, you have to have.
Dudes were whistling at you.
You had to have the air blowing because it was so hot if you stopped at a light. But
Right.
I love driving it. But, you know, I've always wanted a convertible. I think they're fun. But we did not take the top off. So really, that's the only thing that's fun about them. When you have the top on, it's just not the smoothest ride.
I will never drive. Don't ever get me one of those again. I didn't like it. It wasn't me. I'm just a nice old man driving
You're like,
my
"It's your
Prius.
Yeah.
I just get after it. The Prius goes. I mean, listen, I'm just going to tell you, if I went like 60 miles an hour or above, Julie was like this. I mean, she's like,
I couldn't do that because they didn't have my handrail. I missed that.
That's the worst thing in the world. She has that. She has that railing. What do you call it?
My
Didn't you say something about it? You called it a name. The railing. What was it?
it can't be mentioned on the radio. It's my blank.
Oh,
handle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, she
Fixing to
grabs
die.
when she's with me. She grabs the handle all the time.
Me too.
But I
It's
I
like my
just didn't
security
like it.
blanket.
I didn't like it.
Well, you
like
looked hot driving it. It was fun to drive something different. I kind of had fun driving it when I dropped you off and went to the mall. I would take the back roads, and
Yeah.
it was kind of fun.
And dudes were like, "Oh, look at her."
Nobody was doing that, sweetie.
Julie,
Nobody's doing that.
men look at you all. I see it. You live in a fantasy
Please
land.
stop.
You think that women look at me when they don't, and you think men don't look at you, and they do. Do you understand that?
Oh, my goodness.
You are the exact opposite.
Well, you looked hot in it for sure.
Okay, well, thank you.
But I'm glad. I was also glad to have the Prius back.
Yeah. Now I got one of the best stories that we've ever told on the show here.
This is actually, ladies and gentlemen, why we were fighting right before the show started. Because Jim loves to throw me under the bus when given an opportunity.
Listen, this is not that bad.
It's not great.
Okay.
It's not great.
Okay. We're in the hotel room down in Austin, and I've got Sports Center on. It's in the morning.
And I'm in the bathroom getting
and you're
ready.
in the bathroom. Now, the bathroom in this room that we're in, the bathroom didn't have a door on it. And so you could hear, and the TV was close to it, so you could hear it and everything like that. So there's a woman who is a morning anchor, and she tells this long story about how hard it's been on her lately with kids and everything, and she starts crying and everything like that. And I'm watching it, and it's a really nice story. And Julie yells in from the bathroom, "Okay, we all have problems.
No,
we have women."
I didn't. I said that's what it's called to be a woman, okay? It's just called being a woman.
That's right. She said it's just called being a woman and having children. And, well, come on. That's ridiculous. And I turned to Julie and I said, "Jewel, she's recovering from cancer."
I go, okay, I take it all back. I'm sorry. I didn't hear that part of the story.
Oh, my gosh. I wish y'all
felt
could have
bad.
been there in the hotel room. This is why I wish that we had a reality show, because this was one of the funniest things. And we're not laughing at this woman.
No,
but
it was
she
just
was
sad.
in there. She got sick and tired of listening to it. You could see. I'm watching the TV, and Julie's over to my left, and I looked over at her once, and I looked back, and you could see she was building up like, oh, my God, zip it up,
Well,
lady.
no, here's where I tune in because I'm really good at tuning out sports stuff.
You're really good at tuning out me.
When I tuned in, is she's talking about how, she's got work and she's got the kids, and she's like, and you feel like you have to be perfect, and you feel like you're not doing everything right, and you're just got so much, and it can get so overwhelming, and she's just going on and on and on. And I'm like, oh, for the love of God, it's called being a woman. That's what motherhood is, right? We've all done that.
Right.
And she's weeping, and I don't understand.
Right. And why was she
What's
weeping?
going on?
Because she had cancer.
I missed the first part of the show. I immediately retracted everything I said, okay? I understand. That's horrible.
Listen to me, Joel.
It's horrible.
You are one of the greatest women that I've ever met. There's no doubt about it.
Which is why you love when I do things like this.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
You're one of the greatest women I've ever met. You're right there with my mother. And my mother, do you know me, is a saint for me.
Yes.
Okay? But one thing that you're not the greatest at is empathy. You're not a real empathetic person. Now, you've gotten better, especially with me. When we were younger and something was wrong with me, you were like, okay, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Now
Like
you
rub some
care.
dirt on it.
Isn't that true?
Yeah.
Isn't that true?
I feel like I am empathetic. If I had heard the cancer,
I would hope so.
I would not have given her a hard time.
I would hope you wouldn't have
I
done
thought
that.
she was just complaining about being a wife and a mother and having a job. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yes, it's exhausting and it's overwhelming. But, as women, we suck it up and we don't cry on TV, right? About our plight in life. That's just what mothers do.
Right.
You throw in the cancer, that That's a step too
Then
far.
it's okay
a bridge
for her to
too
cry?
far. Yes.
Can she cry then?
She can cry then.
Okay.
Because now she's got cancer and she's dealing with all of this. Yes, that's overwhelming. It brought it into context why she was overwhelmed.
But listen to me.
Yeah.
Even if there was no cancer,
Yeah.
okay, and she was telling a story about maybe it was hard for her, maybe we don't know one of her kids was autistic, or we don't know. It's really hard for her and the things that we're going through. You were like, get the heck out of here.
I would have I didn't hear anything that the rest of us didn't go through. I missed that whole part. So it made sense why she was telling the story. I just thought she was whining on TV about being a woman. And I was like, what are we doing here? This is Sports Center. I didn't understand. So thank you for exposing me to everyone and saying how unsympathetic I am.
If we had that filmed, that would be one of the greatest segments ever.
But just go ahead and admit to everybody, I retracted everything I said immediately.
Sweetie, every human alive that's in prison, okay, for killing somebody would have retracted what they said.
Okay.
That's not something, that part's not huge.
I didn't even say anything that terrible. I just said, okay, it's called being a woman. That's what I said.
It was a little bit more than that.
No, that's
You
exactly.
had a look on your face.
Like,
you had a look on your face like this woman is ridiculous. Little did you know that after the show, she was going to get chemotherapy.
Jim, you've already made your point.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, man. That is beautiful.
I've already been exposed for the horrible human being that I am.
Beautiful.
How can we even proceed from here? I don't know.
I don't know.
But I do.
We can go on.
I
Let's
do
go.
have something interesting for you.
You do? Good. Very good. Oh, she's got her glasses on.
I'm putting the glasses on.
She's serious today.
Listen to this.
What?
I saw this article pop up about real estate. Top 10 most boring cities in America. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Oklahoma City in there?
2 cities in Oklahoma are in here.
Tulsa, too?
Yes.
Both of them are in there?
Both in the top 10.
Well, they've never been to Tulsa because Tulsa is a great city. That's totally wrong.
So let me just go ahead and say, I'm totally fine with the fact that they want to put our cities in there because I don't want more people moving here.
Well, and we love boring around here. I mean, I love right now, I love boring. Oklahoma is one of the greatest places ever to raise children.
Yes.
By the way, I've been all over the country. I've lived in different places. I've been traveled. I love Oklahoma.
Traveled?
I've been traveled. I've been traveled. Sounds like some of the language that those people listen to in those shows we're watching from England where we got no idea what the words are.
Funny.
But no, yeah, I've traveled and Oklahoma people, I'm telling you, I'm from the East Coast. I've been all over. Oklahoma is a diamond in the rough, especially if you're raising kids. Now, if you're a 22-year-old kid and you're wanting to go out and party and have till 5 o'clock in the morning, Oklahoma's not the best place for you.
So this is what it's based on, which explains what you're saying.
Okay, what do you got?
So it's based on nightlife, attractions, tourism, and overall activity level.
Well, I can see how we wouldn't be real high on those.
So it says these aren't necessarily bad places to live, but when it comes to energy, entertainment, things to do, they're lacking. And in many of these cities, you'll find early shutdown vibes, limited nightlife scenes, few major attractions, and a slower population growth and tourism.
Well, the slower population is not true here because people are moving to Oklahoma.
True.
And I will tell you that a couple of those are true.
But that being said, they said it can also mean quiet, affordable, and peaceful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, let me tell you something. We live in Oklahoma City.
Yeah. It's a great city.
We love it here.
Yeah.
But Tulsa, tell them, Tulsa is a great city.
It's a great city. We
I mean,
love
it's a
to go to
tremendous
Tulsa.
city.
I
Yeah.
could live in Tulsa.
Sure.
For sure.
Tulsa is, I told the story before for people from outside the state, okay? I'm sure y'all remember, if you're older, you remember the booms and the busts of oil, right? That controls our state, booms and busts. Right now, unfortunately, because of things happening in the world, our gas is pretty high. But guess what? Our oil people are making a bunch of money. That's the way our it goes here in the States. So listen to this. So when the bust came back in the 70s, Oklahoma City was where the rich people lived that were out running things. The rich people in Tulsa were the owners of what the Oklahoma City people ran. So the bust obliterated this area around Oklahoma City really, really bad. But the big rich people in Tulsa,
They survived.
If they had $100 million in the bank, they lost like $70 million, let's say. But they still had $30 million. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Tulsa is just progressive as far as the things that they do. The restaurants there are incredible. They have some entertainment. I mean, it's not like if you're going to Los Angeles or New York City. But I tell you what, man, I could live where we live now because we love it. This beautiful house that you've remodeled. And I could live in Tulsa.
Yeah, I feel like Tulsa's prettier in that there's a lot more hills and trees.
Well, they call it the hill country.
Right. So it is pretty. But, I've been saying as long as we've lived in Oklahoma, because I used to travel a lot with work. And people didn't really know Oklahoma. So this was before the bombing and all of that.
The bombing is.
Oklahoma was known more for tornadoes.
Sure.
So anybody who had heard of that, that's what they thought of were tornadoes. And so every time somebody asked me, what's it like living in Oklahoma? I would say, well, it's like living in Pleasantville. That's what it is. There was that movie Pleasantville. Do you remember?
Sure.
And that's the way it still seems to me. The people are nice and friendly. Everything's clean for the most part. It's just pleasant. It's a pleasant place to live and raise your children and work.
But according to those things that they brought up on the thing, I can see why both of the cities are low because, it isn't the greatest party place. Now, we've got places.
I would say that, but out of 50 states, you're telling me that there aren't cities that are less boring than Oklahoma City.
Did they ask about, did it have to be like big, like how big were the cities that they have to be?
They didn't give me the specifications.
Because
you always ask questions I'm not prepared for.
I would guess that like places like in Wyoming or.
Well, right. That's what I'm saying.
Montana,
but do you want me to tell you the whole list?
I do. Yes, absolutely.
So I'm going to start with number 10.
Okay.
Jacksonville, Florida. Number 9.
Did they say anything about it? Okay.
Number 9 is where you were born.
Columbus, Ohio?
Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
Number 8, Indianapolis, Indiana.
Wow. Oklahoma City and Tulsa are way up on the list, huh?
Number 7, San Antonio, Texas, which that one surprised me.
Yeah,
that one seems like
San
it's got a lot
got
of
that river walk and everything.
Surprising. Number 6 was Oklahoma City. Number 5, Omaha, Nebraska.
You got a lot of money in Omaha,
Number
Nebraska.
4, Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Good.
Number 3, Tulsa.
Wow.
Number 2, Fresno, California.
Mm-hmm.
And number 1, you have any guesses?
Is it East Coast, West Coast, middle of the country?
One of your best friends lives there.
Milwaukee? You used to live there. No, my best friend's out. Oh, Bakersfield.
Bakersfield, California.
I'm going to have to tell Al. I call that the barren wasteland in Bakersfield.
I knew you'd love that.
Isn't that crazy that Al and I come from the East Coast?
Yeah.
And
now y'all live in the two most boring cities.
2 of the 10 top boring cities in the country.
In the country.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
That is absolutely beautiful. I mean, I've been in almost all of those cities, and I can see why they're on the list for what they have. But I'm going to tell you something. If you did a list of like the most wholesome places to live, we wouldn't be on there.
Yeah, wholesome. We would be there. We would be on there.
At least wholesome is what I meant.
Oh, least wholesome. Yes.
If they did that way, yeah. But that's okay. I understand. People want to go party and stuff.
I don't want to get the words out. Here's our theory about this. We can live in Oklahoma and appreciate that. And then when you want to go somewhere wild or fun or different, it's pretty easy to get to anywhere.
Get on a plane.
Yeah, from here.
About a month from now, we'll be going to Vegas. We want to talk about a place that you can. I bet you if they did the opposite, top 10, Vegas would be in it.
That is one place I would not want to live.
Well, if you lived in Vegas, though, you'd live way out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's still, with you, that would be too close for my taste.
But think about it, though, Jewel.
Yeah.
You can live 25, 30 miles away from the Strip in a really nice area. That's a long ways away. I mean, I'm 25 miles away from places that I could go gamble right now, right?
It's not the Strip. Yeah, you could not be trusted 30 miles away from the Strip.
I'm going to tell you something, Julie.
Yeah.
I disagree with you. I think I'm changed nowadays. I think because they've got all these places around here to play poker that we go to. When I go to Vegas, it's not as exciting as it used to be.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't believe
Let's
it?
just hope that we never have to experiment on that.
I don't want to move there. I've never told you I don't want to move there.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to live there. It might be like when I lived in Orlando, Florida. You tried to avoid any proximity towards
Disney World.
Disney World. Yeah.
Mhm.
You just Epcot, you tried to avoid that whole area. Because all of the tourists came in, and it was
I've talked to poker players that live in Vegas, and I'm telling you that the only time they come to the Strip is to play a poker tournament. Now, they might go to dinner or something like that at one of the restaurants or something, but the only time they come is to come down and play a poker
when I
tournament.
get facials, same things. I'll ask the ladies, like, what's your favorite place to eat around here? And they're like, oh, honey, I don't eat down here.
Yeah.
Everything's too expensive. There's too many people. I get in here for work and then I get out and I don't come back to the Strip unless I have to.
And we've eaten at places that are off of the Strip, like way off of the Strip.
I've heard the best places to eat are off the Strip. The problem is we never rent a car there.
No, you're right.
And so
Remember
we tend
when
to
we
stay
took
in
the whole
close.
family to that Chinese, Japanese?
It was a sushi place.
Yeah, remember that place?
Uh-huh.
That was big.
It's really good. We've experimented off the Strip.
Right.
But it's just kind of a hassle.
It is hard. You're right.
Yeah.
But there is a little area out there. It's called Little Tokyo area, and it's really nice. But listen, I'm happy that they've put us on that list.
I am too. I want people to see that list and go, oh, let's never move to Oklahoma City. Let's never move to Tulsa.
One other place, you can break down when you do podcasts like this, you can break down where people are listening. And obviously, number one is Oklahoma City.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Dallas has now more listeners than Tulsa. I mean, we've got a lot of listeners down in Dallas to the podcast. And we love the city of Dallas, except for the traffic.
Yeah.
We can't stand the
Which
traffic.
I think people in Dallas feel the same way.
You're right. You're exactly right.
Now, it was kind of nice for us in Austin because they've got some pretty horrendous traffic, too, during rush hour. But we flew in and got into our hotel at 1 a.m.
That was perfect, yeah.
And then we ended up changing our flight because you got knocked out. And so we had to leave for the airport at 6 in the morning.
Right.
So we avoided all traffic.
No, you're right. We didn't hit a lot of Austin traffic, which can be horrific.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, listen, like I said, I'm happy. I'm happy that we're on the list. I don't agree with them about Tulsa, but whatever. I mean, with the points that they went by, I can see why we're on there.
Well,
and Bakersfield as well.
Another great thing about Oklahoma City is J.R. Holmesy's here.
My man, J.R. You're exactly right. But, if you've had any type of injury in a car accident, maybe at work or something, he is the man. J.R. Holmesy and Associates. We had a big car accident. My beautiful wife got hurt very badly in it. And, he was amazing. I just couldn't believe how much he helped you, Jewel.
Love him so much. I mean, and he helped us all the way through with everything, with not only with the insurance and getting our car taken care of, but just with the doctors and because he knew the places to send us to get to the bottom of what was going on with my medical situation. But he's just the best. When you're in that much pain and you're that distraught, that's the last thing you want to do is, sitting on hold, waiting for an insurance company to pick up.
Right. And if we would have been, if it would have been contested, we had doctors that could say, well, this happened and this happened because he knows that they know what they're doing.
Right.
But we luckily no contest and we got some money out of it, which was nice. So J.R. Holmesy is the best. All you got to do is call 405-524-1011. 405-524-1011. If you know somebody, we've helped other people. If you know somebody or if you ever get in an accident and you need somebody, J.R. Holmesy is the man.
Absolutely.
We love him.
So I kind of switched tactics tonight. I had a whole other podcast planned. And I went another direction because I stumbled onto something that I just think needs to be brought to the attention of Americans everywhere. Something that needs to be discussed. And we've got to find a way around this. There's something really scary going on. And I don't know if a lot of people are aware of this. But did you know that middle children are becoming extinct?
So in other words, people are not having more than three or more kids.
So family sizes in the U.S. have shifted in the past 5 decades. Like in the 70s, They were having 3 to 4 children was the average, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And so middle children were like a built-in staple of our society, of every household. There was always the middle child, right?
Right.
I'm a middle child. You've got a middle child in your family.
My sister, yeah. Most families back when I was young had 3 kids. Most of them.
Yeah.
Some of them were less. Some of them were more. Jaybird had, what, 6?
Well, you
But
came from a Catholic community, so I'm
lot of
shocked that you wouldn't have
Catholics.
way more than 4.
Well, remember, they didn't get married till they were 40.
That's true. Yeah.
So,
Well, I'm
no,
not
excuse
talking
me.
about your mom. I'm saying
Yeah.
just the community that you lived in. There's a lot of
That was wrong about that. They didn't have me till they were 40.
Right.
So my bad. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. No, the Catholic community. Well, we did. Jaybird was Catholic.
right.
And
That's
they had
what
a
I'm
bunch- yeah,
saying.
there were a bunch
Usually
of
they're
kids.
more than 4.
Yeah,
right?
You're right. No, a lot of kids. You're right. Yeah.
So this is called Pew Research Center.
Yep.
It's weird.
No, they're big. Pew is big. They do
Okay.
a lot of things. Yeah.
I didn't know if I was pronouncing that right. Their data shows that 65% of moms now are only having 1 or 2 children. And a lot of that is based on, of course, cost of living, delayed parenthood, which I think a lot of people,
Get married later.
get married later or starting their career and waiting till longer to have their
Right.
babies. And then, of course, just shifting priorities around work and lifestyle. But whatever the reason, we're seeing that even with our own kids.
I was just going to say the same
2
thing.
of our daughters were like, nope, 2 is plenty. We're not having more. And that hit me hard because I'm like, that's me. I'm extinct. I guess I would have been the baby if my parents had just stopped at 2, right? But we would have missed out on my brother and my baby sister.
And me,
And you.
the big fella.
And you.
What would this world do without me being born
I
into
can't
it?
even imagine a world without Jim
No,
Traber.
No, you're right. That would be
What in the
It
world?
might be better, but it would be. I think my world would be shattered because I wouldn't be here.
Yeah. I just thought that was, it's kind of a sad thing to think about. So birth order psychology spent decades documenting the distinct personality traits associated with middle children. So think about this. Heightened independence, strong social skills, tendency to feel overlooked. That can happen with the middle child,
Well, the very first one you said was strong confidence.
No, heightened independence,
Oh,
which I think
well,
is
I'm
true.
trying to think about our beautiful Caitlin. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
As 2 children, single child families become the norm, that entire psychological archetype is quietly disappearing. And it turns out that the one group most defined by being forgotten is now being forgotten. Isn't that sad? Cue the
Well,
sad music.
I mean, middle children have always complained their whole lives about. I mean, everybody talks about being the middle child, and they didn't get the right things and didn't get treated right.
Usually it's made a joke because it's like you think about the Brady Bunch when they're like Jan going, Marcia, Marcia, Marcia. Remember?
Yeah, sure, yeah. And then
Jan
the
was
li-
always the
and then
whiner.
and the little one got taken care of.
She was the
She did
baby.
whatever she wanted to. She was adorable. Yeah,
Yeah.
they did that on purpose. I mean, because that's what a lot of people thought. The middle child didn't get.
It's very stereotypical,
It's
right?
even worse in my family because there's 2 boys and a girl, and the girl is the middle child, Teresa, who was smarter than any human
I
alive.
actually don't think that's worse. I think that's better.
Really?
Yes, because then at least you've got something that sets you apart. You're the only daughter, you're the only girl. So that's a positive thing.
Really?
In my house, okay, I was the middle child, but I was a girl, but the baby was another girl. So that kind of screwed me, right?
You turned out to be okay.
No, middle children do turn out to be okay. That's the point, is that, well, let's get into it. We've had a whole podcast about this before, right? So firstborns, name some of the character traits you would associate with a firstborn.
Well, strong.
Think of your brother,
strong,
Chelsea.
independent,
So natural leaders,
leaders,
responsible,
very responsible,
achievement oriented,
right?
perfectionists.
Mm-hmm.
They like control. They like success.
Yeah.
So I think of the firstborn as, your parents put all their energy into that one. Like
Plus, they didn't know what they were doing.
Well, in some cases, like in our kids' cases, they wait longer to have babies, and now they've read all the books, and so you're trying out all those
Right.
theories.
Although some of those books,
That's my
yeah,
point.
yeah, exactly,
Like you
yeah,
think you know what you're doing, and you're
right,
probably screwing them up that way. But
yep,
the point is, you're trying so hard. Like there's so much pressure on that first one, right? To
right,
walk and talk and do all the things,
right.
um, and so, yeah, I think that we probably do that to the firstborn. That's why it is stereotypical because so much energy is poured in. You know, Courtney was here with baby Nora not too long ago. And I told her, I said, just enjoy this time with her because when you have another child, you're never going to have the time that you've had with Nora just to
One on one.
focus with this one
Hmm.
child. And maybe that's better. Like maybe that's why the second and third and fourth children are more easygoing, maybe, and don't feel the pressure to succeed that's put on that firstborn. But that firstborn child does get like all the love, all the attention from everybody.
Well, yeah, I mean, absolutely.
And then and
Yeah,
then you have to learn to share when the second one comes along.
especially if it's the first grandbaby.
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, Caitlin had the first baby. She's the middle, and neither one of our children had a third child, like you said earlier. So there is no middle. And I got to tell you that I think that Riley Kate would have been an interesting middle child.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, the little boy, the sloth boy, Clyde, he could be the firstborn, the middleborn, the lastborn. It doesn't matter. He's just going to go with whatever's happening.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's talk about the middle children. So
Okay.
they're the peacemakers, which is interesting. Would you call me a peacemaker?
No.
I don't know. But they're sandwiched between the demands of the older and the younger. And so they generally are skilled communicators, diplomats, and compromisers. They can see multiple perspectives. They're independent and self reliant, usually, which I think that's probably true.
Thinking about Caitlin, she's pretty. Yeah, she's pretty. Yeah, she had some times in the beginning where it seemed like she wasn't going to go in the right direction, but she did such a great job of going in the right direction. You know, as youngsters.
I think when you're a middle child, you could say that about any of us. Like there's times when you started, because I think sometimes you're just trying to fit in and you're trying to be noticed, right? And
What about
so,
someone like Teresa? Because Teresa is a massive overachiever.
well, it's not saying that you wouldn't be an overachiever
Okay,
or
okay.
be successful,
Right.
but from what I've heard about her in high school, she did some things to try to fit in and be noticed and to buck the system,
She
right?
was a buckinger. No, there's no doubt. She was a bucking
I
girl.
think she definitely shows
Right.
some of those skills, I
Right.
guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's talk about the youngest children because let's
This-
talk about you.
The big man.
Let's talk about you. The baby of the family.
Does it just say stud down there?
Baby of the family.
That's
Noticed
me.
I called you baby
I got no problem with that.
right at the beginning of this podcast. Usually they have charisma, social skill, a flair for the dramatic. That is for sure you. You get to grow up with a sense of freedom and indulgence. I thought that fits you perfectly.
Yeah, I would go yes, 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 yes.
Yes.
Yep.
That's not right. Carefree.
What do you mean I'm not careful?
I
Why
couldn't
you
read my
ripping on
own
me?
writing. That's
Careful.
carefree and spontaneous. And this last one nails it. Attention seeking approach to life. There you go.
I'm the baby. There's no
You-
doubt about it. I am the
You
baby
are
of the
definitely
family.
the youngest child.
What was really even more so for me, I've told you this before, but not only was I the baby of the family, I was the baby of the entire family. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Aunts, uncles, cousins, everybody. I was the baby of everybody. So, I mean, I had everybody doted on me when I came.
Well, and something else that you're kind of like in a class all your own. One of the things it said that can change the stereotypical deal about the baby of the family is if there's an age gap of 5 years or more,
That's me.
which is also you.
Mm-hmm.
So, in other words, it's almost like in some ways you were an only child.
Does
So
it
you're-
say that it makes you even more of a baby when you're that further along, like that far away from your other one?
It did not say that.
I know one thing, that my parents had me at 40 and they were tired. I mean, when I was older, they were tired.
So you say that, like you've been saying that since I met you. And when I met you, I was 25 and I thought it was funny and I agreed with you. But now that I'm older, I disagree with your assessment on that.
You don't think my mom and dad were tired?
Here's what I think. I think that they would you wise up. You know what I mean? By the third one, you go, is that really that important? You know what I mean? I'm not going to get this opportunity again. This is the last one. Here's where I screwed up over here on these two. And I'm just going to enjoy this one, you know? And you just don't put the pressure, I think, on the baby that maybe you did on the first one.
Did you do that? Because yours were so close to
Mine
each other.
doesn't count, I don't think. I think I'm because I was such a baby myself when I had my babies. You know, I had 3 kids by the time I was 25, and um, they were just boom, 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 a year apart. So it's funny because I still see some of these same stereotypes, like with Chelsea. She was very much
Oh, Chelsea is the epitome of,
of
the
the
oldest
child. She had to grow up, which makes me sad now. It really makes me want to cry because she never really had that time to be the baby.
The only person.
Yes.
Yeah, the only one.
And then poor Caitlin. I mean, I had Courtney right away, so she never got it. Chelsea at least had that first year.
Right.
But I had Chelsea potty trained, thank goodness, and then I had the other 2 in diapers at the same time. So it was very different. So I think probably I had pressure on all of them. You know, by the time I met you, Courtney was only 2, right? So
Yep.
2, 3, 4. Chelsea was turning 5. Those girls were all potty trained. Chelsea would fix them breakfast on Saturday morning. I mean, they were totally self-sufficient children.
They were unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't have come into a better. I mean, I think that if they were like brats or anything like that, I don't know if I would have been able to stay. Really. I mean, I was in love with you, but think about if the kids were like monsters or something, because we
Yeah.
see monster kids when we go out different places. But these 3 were angels. And let me tell you something. If Julie said to him, Caitlin, she'd go, I mean, it would be over with. Not that you beat him or anything, but they knew that
I ran a tight ship
you did
because
run a
there were
tight
3
ship.
babies and I had to work, and and I look back now and I'm like, I was probably too hard on him. Like I don't know that Courtney got away with that much more than the others, because it was like,
Well, they were all together.
she just followed the line, right? Chelsea
I
was
don't
like the mother duck.
I don't think that you should feel guilty at all, because I think that they've all turned out wonderfully. You know,
No,
and
they have. They're wonderful.
and I think one of the reasons why is the way you mothered them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big part of it. It's interesting how, though, the children parent their children.
Totally different. Yeah.
Well, I think Caitlin parents just like you did.
Yeah, probably. Because also, she was 20 when she started having babies.
Incredible. You're right. No,
So it
you're
is
right.
different, I think.
Yeah.
But that's all I'm trying to say about your parents. I don't know it's that they were just tired and didn't care anymore. I think they cared so much that they were just going to enjoy you.
Yeah, I don't think it was. I never really said they didn't care.
Right.
They were just tired. Like, you know what? When I would in high school, when I would sneak out, like, you know, out of the room, I purposely went downstairs to stay in my brother's room when he went to college. And one of the reasons why is because I could be just by myself down there and do what I wanted to do. Well, when I when I would sneak out and come back, I mean, I often, a couple times, thought my mother knew. But I don't think she knew I wasn't going out to do
You were a good
drugs or
kid.
anything. Yeah, I was a good kid. We
Yeah.
met with maybe Jay Bird or somebody, and we're
Yeah.
sitting out just talking and stuff. So I think she said, yeah, whatever. I mean, that's what I'm talking about, tired.
But see, that's where I'm looking at is because of who you were and she trusted you and all that stuff. I think she let things go. She picked her battles. And I think.
I never had any battles with her.
Right.
I
That's what I'm
mean,
saying.
Never. That's because
But
I was a perfect
I would
child.
say your brother and sister said the same thing about your mother, but your dad had a lot of battles with those 2.
Right.
I think he had decided by the time with you learn from the first 2, and then you go, you know, I'm just not gonna do that this time around, and see how that goes, right?
Right. But my dad was a different type of parent than my mom. I know that sounds weird. I think you and I are a little bit similar to that, but my dad was not massively involved. He was there. He was a wonderful man, but he didn't like have anything to do with a lot of stuff unless it was really like engineering and math and stuff that he was brilliant. Yeah.
I think back then my dad was the same way. It was not, men weren't expected to step up and like do the things that men do now.
That's right. The mother took care of it.
The mom handled all the things with the kids.
And they didn't work.
And my dad was the disciplinarian. Like that was the threat when your dad gets home. You know what I mean?
See, but
did your mom do that?
Only a couple of times. Very rarely did she do anything to me. But I've told you before that my dad wore hearing aids because he got shot down out of that plane, and he couldn't hear when he took them off. So he would lay in the bed, and I would come home late, and I would be, like if I was supposed to get home at midnight, it was like maybe 20 after 12, and I'd come tiptoeing in, and I'd hear my mom go, "Jimmy Joe," and I was like, "Yeah, Mom." She goes, "Why late? Why you're late?" "Well, we were just sitting around and time got away." She goes, "Okay, love you. And that'd be it. And she would never tell my dad.
Wow.
Never tell my dad.
If only my dad could have been deaf.
Now, let me explain something to you.
Helpful. It would have been so helpful.
First of all, he wasn't deaf, but he had a really hard time hearing. But listen, now you messed me up with that line. Julie, I tell Julie all the time, once or twice a month, she's really funny. And that was one of them right there. I wish my dad could have been deaf.
That would have been helpful.
That
he
should be the
patrolled
name.
our house with a pistol. It was not pleasant.
That should be the name of the podcast. I wish my dad was deaf. No, I was going to say that my dad, whenever something really serious, he got involved. But all the other things, my mama ran the show.
Yeah.
And she was amazing.
Same.
Now, she would get stern with you sometimes.
Sure.
But you met her.
Yeah.
If she started to get upset with you, you almost were like, "Come on, Mom. Look at you. You're the most beautiful, wonderful woman ever. Little short, little fat Italian lady."
Well, here's the thing that to bring it back to the whole middle children going extinct.
Which is really sad to me. I hate that. I think it's a shame. This is some of the things that they do like in China.
Well, listen to this.
Ridiculous.
So conflict potential in relationships, if you're looking at birth order, because they've done a lot of research. We did a whole podcast on this. You'll have to go back and listen to the whole thing because it's very, very interesting. I'm fascinated by it. But the conflict potential is that you don't generally want two firstborns to marry. That has a tendency.
I can see them knocking heads.
Yes, to not go well. And two babies marrying each other.
Oh my gosh, you're right. They both would be spoiled.
That might be difficult.
We're perfect then.
They say that the best scenario is to take a firstborn and a baby. That's a good.
Yeah, I think we know people where one bosses the other one around all the time, just runs the show.
Chelsea and Chet. Not that one bosses one around, but I'm just saying they're a perfect couple. They balance each other out nicely.
Is Chet a baby?
He's the baby.
Chet's
He's the baby of the
You're
family.
Right. That's exactly right.
And Courtney and MacArthur. MacArthur's the oldest. Courtney's the baby. It's interesting how that works out.
What about middle and baby like
here's
us?
what works out. So the middle child fits in with either.
Okay.
Because they're used to doing that. They're used to dealing with all the personality types, right? Because they're the middle child.
Sure.
So think about that in the world going around. If you take out middle children, all the things that we described as their personality archetype being, it's kind of sad to think about that.
It is, but remember this. There'll be more babies.
Right.
And so that means that there'll be more people for the older ones to get together with.
True.
Because you said they get together well.
But you're not going to have any of the peacemakers in the mix in this world.
Well,
think about that.
Well, listen, I think we already have. I think there's a bunch of battles all the time. But no, that's really interesting. I really do think that's a shame, man. I would hope that if things get better, and they may not, but I would hope that people would start having babies again,
Having more children.
Yeah. What's wrong with that? If you can afford it. Now, I don't like people that make between them like $50,000 a year and they got like 7 kids. That to me is a little bit ridiculous. I mean,
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm not going to judge.
No, I'm not
I
judging. I just don't think it's
I
right.
had 3 and I made less. You know, my mom always would say this. She would say to everyone that they'd say, well, I don't know if I can afford to have a baby or whatever. And she would always say, you know, if you wait to have a baby for when you can afford it, you're never going to have a baby. It's kind of one of those things. Like, I think that God wanted us to be fruitful and multiply. And I think if you have a baby, you find a way, you know.
I know.
I know there's excesses on both ends, but I do think it's a sad thing. That's all I wanted to say is, as a middle child, I want to advocate for middle children, that I think people need to get back in the bedroom and have that third baby. That's all I'm saying. It's like a public service announcement for the world, really.
I'm on your side on this one. I agree with you. I think we should have more babies. But I'm just saying, I don't like.
I heard what you said. We don't need to keep beating it.
Okay.
I did want to say, though, I do think you should start treating me like the rare gem that I am, that I'm extinct. I'm part of an extinct group.
Is that what we're talking about here? Is that why you did this whole thing?
I feel like I need to be treated as such. What do you think?
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you believe that I treat you like a rare gem?
Most of the time. Most of the time.
I'm
saying GEM. Not a rare JIM.
I would think that the people who listen to this podcast and watch it, I think that they would think that I treat you pretty unless I'm the greatest actor in the world. And I'm a great actor, but you know what I'm saying?
You're great at everything. Because you're the baby of the family.
I am the baby of the family, and
What did
I am
it say?
so happy that I was the baby of the family. She loves this line.
And
Okay, let's talk. What?
Seeking approach to life. Attention-seeking approach to life. I love that.
You know what they missed, though?
What's that?
They should have said, some babies don't need to seek it.
Okay.
The big fella.
Okay, we'll just leave it at that. How
You
about?
like that, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Mic
like that
drop.
We want to thank so much, too, the great people at Rob's Ranch. If you don't know about Rob's Ranch, it is a Christ-centered recovery center for men. They've got 2 of them, one in Sayre, one in Purcell. By the way, if you live outside the state, you can come.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. They've opened a new one in Edmond, the place where we live, which is for everybody, for couples and everything. But it's an outpatient. Yeah. But these others, the men go and they stay. Addictions, if you're addicted or you know somebody who's addicted, let's get them help. I mean, it is the greatest thing when I go out there and do my show, my radio show out there at Rob's Ranch, and to see these men, some young, some old. The other day when I was out there, about a 25-year-old kid came in, said, thank you so much. My dad told me about this. He paid for it to have me come in.
Wow.
The next guy who came in to see me, he had to be 70.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm just trying to get my family to, love me again.
Wow.
That's basically what he said to me. So
they're changing lives. I mean, just it's crazy. The ripple effect, because you're meeting the fathers and the mothers, and you're hearing those stories too. It's amazing.
It's awesome. Go to robsranch.org. You can find out all the information there.
And if you think you can't afford it, they do offer scholarships.
That's right. That's right. And if you don't know anybody, you want to help out, go to the bottom of their page down there and it says donate. Just give some money. I mean, it'll help them immensely. And I also wanted to say, I can't remember what I was going to say. It was one more thing, but it was really, really good.
Rob's Ranch, Path to Miracles.
Path to Miracles, Rob's Ranch. All right.
And just remember, anywhere you're listening to us, hit the like button, subscribe. It helps push our podcast up, and
that's right. Don't forget about our
refer
YouTube
us
channel.
To a friend.
Let's get it going. We're rolling. We're trying to get after it. We want more and more people to listen, and I hope you enjoy it, Jewel. Love you, Rare Jim.
I love you.
Oh, I'm never going to hear the end of this. Thank you so much for listening to the Julie and Jim Traber podcast. We will be back next week. Tell everybody about it.